It's been one of the most interesting forums, because I can't remember the last time I did anything with a city council forum where we actually just had two candidates. I've only been doing it 25 years. And this is interesting as well because this seemed like this was an election that was going to slip by, but boy, it became a hot issue. So I look forward to the time. I want to remind you that this is brought to you by Industrial Oil. Thank them for sponsoring this program, 769-4956 Industrial Oil. Gentlemen, let's start off with something I heard a lot about. People say they want to hear about taxes and trash collection. So the first question is an easy one. Do you both support continued trash collection? Yes.
Yes.
All right, Roger Tillett.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Positively.
So we want to make sure our trash gets picked up, folks. Both candidates are going to continue trash collection in the city of Woonsocket. We can put that one aside. But let's get into taxes, which has been probably one of the issues on the forefront. There's a few issues here, and again, we'll allow you to communicate. And what we're going to do is we usually flip-flop Alex. So when you spoke first on this presentation, Mr. Gillette will speak first, and as we move through, it'll flip-flop. Okay. So there's a few issues you can talk about. We have nonprofit pilot agreements. Your thoughts on some of the actions that had to go into place over the past few years, and the continuation of pilot agreements. Also, any tax treaties. CVS has become prominent in this election, so that can be spoken on as well. So we're going to talk about taxes. We're going to avoid the commercial tax rate for a moment, and we may get back to that a little bit later, but particularly as far as reaching into agreements with entities, whether it be a commercial business like CVS, we've had Landmark in the news, and of course pilots with the nonprofits. Your thoughts on those?
Absolutely. Number one is I have been an advocate of keeping the people's money in their pocket as much as possible by having tax increases only when absolutely necessary. Why do I feel that way? Well, number one is the more money that you, the taxpayer, keep in your pocket, the more money you have as disposable income. With that disposable income in your pocket, you can in turn support local business, who also pay taxes in the city of Woonsocket. Excuse me. And there's a domino effect there, with both the business and the community paying taxes, at a fair level, that we're trying to knock down, by the way. The current city council is trying to knock that down, and I'm happy about that, and I would also be wanting to participate in that. There's no question in my mind that taxes is one of the most crucial situations, especially when you're talking about senior citizens. Senior citizens on fixed incomes, not all, but most on fixed incomes, that have to pay taxes on their property. They want to stay in their property as long as they possibly can. And with the taxes going up and up and up, in the past, leveled and even went down a little bit in the past few years, they're still able to stay in their homes on the most part. And this is what I think, the senior citizens are. Keep in mind, I'm a senior citizen too, so, I know where they're coming from. I'm experiencing, where they're coming from. So, I can talk to the senior citizens and everybody else. You don't have to be a senior citizen to want to keep your own money in your own pocket.
Alex, jump in here on those things. Again, talking about the pilots with the nonprofits. We know one of the issues that has been thrust in, we've read about it, we've heard about it, is some of the tax treaties, such as CVS. Your thoughts?
So, I agree with my opponent that keeping taxes low is important for the local economy, but I would deviate in that we actually need to figure out how to do that, how to be able to support our city and grow the local economy so that we can continue funding our city budget and the necessary things in there. And so with the goal of lowering taxes also has to come real sustainable economic development, and looking at the industries that places like Pawtucket and Worcester and Fall River have been able to redevelop their economies using, and that's things like the arts and allowing artist lofts to really take off in the city, creative use of space of old mills and buildings that have been either taken off the tax rolls or have just been abandoned, and that is really ways that we can invest in the local economy and drive people's dollars into the local economy, because as my opponent knows, people don't inherently spend in the local economy. So we need to explore things like local currencies. We need to explore things like fostering local production with specific incentives, so that we can actually market ourselves and make sure that people have an incentive to spend money in Woonsocket. And by doing that, we can underlie all of the economic growth necessary to continue trying to keep taxes low.
Roger Tillett, do you have anything further you want to respond to or add?
It looks like we kind of agree, but my past has indicated, my actions in the past have indicated that, this is the way that I am. And my opponent doesn't have the luxury of being able to say that. And, but in time he will. So hopefully his actions in the future will indicate what he's saying. My actions in the past indicate exactly how I feel.